Hi, this is Manoj Patel from ichimokutrade.com. Today is February 2nd, 2014. This is a bi-weekly Ichimoku analysis for the currency markets where we're going to go for all the currencies out there. A normal disclaimer, this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. All the charts you're going to see are basically from TradeStation. Whoa. That happened too fast. Here are our contact details. Here you could email us here at info@eicapital.com, or you could call us at any of our office locations here. Also, you could go to our website, ichimokutrade.com, access any of our free videos, heat map alerts, heat map, email, multiple time frame email alerts, and many other things that are out there. Okay, let's go straight to TradeStation, and let's go start looking at charts. Remember, on the left hand side is basically your daily time frame. On the right hand side is basically your weekly time frame here. You could see here from Australian CAD is the first currency we're going to talk about. Bearish trending here, decided to go for a little pullback here, and then went back here. Couldn't quite retest the low here, and then came back up. It held a support level. You can't see it right now, but it held a support level of 96.25, which is pretty strong. So it's got a high probability now getting to the next major resistance level, which is 99.45. So basically, this thing's consolidating here between 9,400 and 99.45 now, and until it breaks out of there, that's basically it's entered a consolidation pattern now as a long-term purpose. Australian yen, believe it or not, a lot of people are thinking the yen pairs are bearish. They're not yet. It had a bullish trend here. Believe it or not, this is part of a major pullback level right now. This is a major support level that it's at, which is basically 88.25. Resistance on this one, minor one's going to be about 91.32. It's got to sit there this week and start making a move to get back above the 91.32. If it does, then it does still have a high probability of retesting this high towards the end of the year. If it breaks this support level here, this thing's going to have some possibility of going and starting a bearish trend. It could enter a consolidation period, just still consolidating around here, but if it breaks the support level, the probabilities of a trend reversal become higher and higher and higher. If you look at Australian Switzy, this is basically bearish trending here now on a weekly time frame here. You could see that from the charts, and you could see that this thing's sitting there slowly trickling down to trying to get to 71.32, which is this next major support level. Minor resistance level is going to be 82.38, and then also 79.62. Australia and New Zealand, which has been a great one. Finally, maybe we'd be bottoming out right here at 500 level. Not quite sure. We're at a minor resistance level right now, but until we get above 1074 long term, we're basically not going to say this is the bottom at all. Major resistance is 1074, so that's the resistance it's got to sit there and penetrate to say this is the bottom. However, the daily is starting to look really good. Minor support levels are basically 702 and 659. We're going to look for it to pull back to those levels and then maintain that level. If it could sit there and maintain that level, then you could look at entering a pullback trade to sit there and go long term to get to about 1074. So that's possibly about 300 point movement up to get to that next major resistance level. Australian USD, you could see here it was consolidating, had some major support here, which it broke finally at 89.34. So this is going down to a new level. The resistance on this guy, major resistance, was 97.23. Let's shrink this chart down, and you could see that this is going into this big mess over here. So the question is how long this thing's going to go. That's unknown, but our next level we're saying is going to be about 85.2045 is going to be the next level that it has a potential to get down to. CAD Switzy here, you could see here finally got to our level. One level here, which is a minor resistance level here at 80.78. Next major one is going to be 77.24, and the master one is going to be 70.96. A lot of people up here said they can't sit there and go retest this low right here and get down. This thing's slowly trickling down, believe it or not. So I'd be very careful on the people that are telling you it can't be done. Resistance levels you're looking at, minor one is 81.62, next one's 82.66, and then the one after that's 85.38. CAD yen, On the monthly, you could see here basically slowly trickling down. Next support, believe it or not, it's going to be right here at 89.81. A lot of things are trickling down here. You could see the weekly time frame, sorry, daily time frame slowly trickling down too. It looks bearish trending on the weekly right now. Basically, the resistances are 93.31 and 95.10. Switch the yen here. You could see a major trend here. It's not done, believe it or not. A lot of people think it is. Major support is going to be 111.59. If it breaks that major support level 111.59, then I could say, hey, now we're sitting there and going for a major pullback, but it's got to sit there and break that level. Believe it or not, it's minor resistance support level that it's kind of still hanging around. Is here, is around 113.55. If it holds at this price right now, which is where it's at right now, then you do have a possibility of sitting there going to retest the high and possibly breaking it, believe it or not, which a lot of people don't think it can. Euro Australian is continuing its journey to be bullish. It keeps on making its moves higher and higher and higher. And let's just look at this real fast. And you could see it's slowly trying to get to its resistance level of 64.50. Support levels on this guy are going to be basically 53.14 and 49.40. EuroCAD broke its resistance level of 48.03. It's making its move now to a nice even number of 5,500 is the next resistance level. Support on this guy is going to be about 48.43 and 44.76. Euro Switzy, really not doing anything. Let's move on. Euro DKK. Here, this is just going sideways. Try to break this resistance here. Failed, which was basically 7.4624. Since it failed here, it's got a high probability now, believe it or not, getting to 45.73, which is its next support. Euro Pound here. This looks like it's bearish right now. It's not completely bearish here. They had a nice upward movement here. This is, believe it or not, is a major pullback right here. The key level now is what's it going to do around the support. If it breaks the support right here, right there, then you could say, okay, this is going to sit there and go lower and sit there and retest this low. If it holds this level here, then it could sit there and give a high probability of getting to about 8,400. And then the question is, what's going to happen after that? Believe it or not, if you look at the monthly time frame, this is still bearish. So there's high probability, believe it or not, of it breaking here, but you have to wait for it to break here to go retest the low. So even though this is a bearish cloud breakout, there's still some bullish momentum on the weekly that's governing this instrument right now, even though the monthly is bearish. So I'd be very careful on this one. It may go for a pullback all the way to 84.48 before it tanks, or it may just consolidate. You don't know, but you got conflict between the daily and the weeklies right now. Euro yen, bullish trending, approaching its major support at 136.81. Resistance on this one is going to be 141.19. Euro NUC, basically bullish trending on both the daily and weekly. It's approaching its resistance at 54.11. Support on this guy is going to be about 40.57, and next one's going to be 15.97. Euro New Zealand, really not doing anything at all. It's boring right now. It's consolidating, but it is bullish consolidating, believe it or not. Support on this one's going to be about 6,200. Resistance on this guy is going to be about, I would say, about 6,800. Euro SEK, really not doing anything. Got to resistance here at 526. Basically bounced off there, went below the major support 8,000, and now it has a possibility of entering a major consolidation pattern. But this, believe it or not, has the highest probability of entering consolidation pattern now, since it couldn't sit there and hold its support level at all. And it's at a minor resistance level right now, and if it does not break that resistance level, we got a possibility of going down, breaking that 6,000 level lower. Euro USD, looks like it was bullish trending here. It's stuck at a major support level right now. It's got to sit there and hold a support level. If it doesn't, it's going to go for a major pullback, which can do a trend reversal. But it's not looking good at all, because it had a chance to break up higher here for the Euro USD. Couldn't do that and came all the way back down to the support, which is not good. It's weakening the momentum. Resistance on this one's 36.85. Support, as you can see, is right where we're at now. But this is looking more and more bearish now. In fact, you could possibly start looking for some bearish counter trend trades to go short. Pound Australian, you could see here, is bullish trending on both the daily and weekly, trying to make its move. It got to major resistance at 9,000, kind of bounced off there. Support on this guy is going to be about 85.38 and then 39.14. Pound Switzy, really not doing anything here. Should be sitting there making a move to go higher, but it's not. It's actually got some timing elements that are against it right now. So this thing's weakening, so it's basically consolidating. However, if it could sit there in the middle of this year, keep on maintaining where it's at right now, above 4,700, this thing does have a possibility of breaking out towards the end of the year or to the mid part of this year. Pound yen, if you look here, this is still very, very strong, believe it or not, moving forward. It basically broke a minor resistance level. Whoa. Let's do this. So the next support level, as you can see, is 166.04. If it breaks that, next one's going to be 161.20. Resistance is going to be 170.34. Pound New Zealand here looks like it's trying to break out its consolidation pattern. Broke its resistance at 68 and looks like it's trying to go higher. So I'd definitely keep an eye on this one this week of it basically popping up and keep on going higher because this does look like a very, very good candidate to sit there and trend this week. So definitely keep an eye on the Pound New Zealand. Pound USD got to a major resistance at 66.03. Bounce off there. It's at a minor support level now. If it breaks that, at least get down to about 6,200, and then the major support level is going to be about 59.35. New Zealand CAD. Here you can see New Zealand CAD here is basically bullish trending upward. It's at a minor support level right now, which is about 89.69. If it breaks that, then it's going to have a high probability of getting all the way down to about 86.64. So definitely keep an eye on this one this week. The daily time frame is kind of telling us that it's going to break that support and trying to make a move down to 86.64, but only time will tell. New Zealand Switzy really not doing anything, excuse me, except consolidating here. You can see it there, enlarge it. Really looks like an ugly pattern completely, so we're not even going to talk about this guy. Support is going to be basically 7,200, resistance is going to be 7,600. New Zealand yen came all the way up to this resistance here, bounced off at 86.35. And it's now coming down to its major support level, which it has to hold. Has to hold at 81.32. If it doesn't, then it's going to go for a major pullback. But definitely keep an eye on this one to come down to that level and hold it. New Zealand USD here, nothing really going on at all. This thing's just not exciting, consolidating. But you could see the highs are going lower and the lows are going lower. So nothing exciting going on at all. On this guy, it broke her support at 90. I would say not even breaking it, but it's kind of at it now still. 81.30 is basically a support for this guy. There's nothing really exciting on there to talk about, so let's move on. Singapore yen, it's at a major support level right now. If it breaks that, then this thing's going to go for a major pullback level, possibly getting down to about 86 and maybe even going lower than that. So it's at a very critical level there now. Resistance is going to be basically 80.622. US CAD basically got to its major resistance at 1200, which we're kind of looking for it to get to. Now the key is where is it going to end from here, because it definitely needs a major pullback. Pullback levels are going to be basically 891, and the next one's going to be 702. So it needs a pullback in order to sit there and keep on going up healthy. US Switzy is bearish trending, believe it or not, and it's slowly caving down. This is kind of like the CAD Switzy almost. Resistance level on this guy that has to sit there and maintain right now is 91.26. It's got to hold that resistance level. If it does, then this thing's going to slowly trickle down. Next support's going to be basically 83.05. After that, the major one's going to be 76.38. USDKK. Really bearish trending here at a major resistance level right now, 53.03. It's got to sit there and hold there in order to keep on going down. Support is going to be basically 39.37. USD Hong Kong, Really nothing going on here. Basically tried to sit there and go lower, couldn't do that. Got to the bottom of the consolidation pattern, came up. Now we're at the top of the consolidation pattern. So now the excitement begins where it's just going to sit there, either consolidate or it may break out. We got to wait and see. But basically, these are the levels: 74.98 and 76.55 is pretty much the range for the last couple of years for this one. So nothing really exciting there. U.S. yen supposedly broke this resistance at 103.70, but really hasn't, kind of broken down lower. You got a, whoa, you're at a major support level right now. Next one's going to be basically 100.61. Resistance is going to be basically 103.52. US NOK, it looks like it's trying to trend here, slowly trickling up. Got a minor resistance level basically at 3,000. Let's just say not even 3,000. Yeah, close to 3,000 there. Support on this one's going to be, minor supports is 1,800. Major one's going to be about 257. And then USD SEK, nothing going on there. We're moving on. Yeah, USD Singapore, we're basically consolidating between 23.50 and 28.34. We're about to get to the top of the range now. Excuse me. And that's about it. You can see that last currency was definitely boring. Last couple of currencies are definitely boring. So remember, keep an eye on the pound pairs. They're still very, very strong, especially pound New Zealand moving forward this week. And then we'll start looking for some possible pairs to reverse, which are major pullbacks are needed, which are US CAD. And be careful about going long any pairs with yen in there. This still looks like yen's still very strong. You got to see some signs where it's weakening in order for you to go counter trend, and it doesn't seem like it's there yet. So be very, very careful as you move forward. Hope you enjoyed this week. I will see you guys in 2 weeks.